Good morning guys and welcome back. I'm in the gym car park about to brave the gym this morning. To be honest, I'm actually quite up for it this morning. I woke up feeling relatively rested because it's actually Tuesday today, and yesterday we had a bit of like an impromptu bank holiday because obviously because of the Queen's death. I did watch the funeral yesterday, which was very sad. Just feels strange, like a bit of an end of an era feeling. But I got a good night's sleep and I'm up for having a healthy week. Lots of exercise. I'm actually, no promises, but I am going to take my camera into the gym, and if I feel confident enough, I am going to try and film a couple of little bits. I'm effectively doing my lower body rehab session. If possible, I do want to film some exercises just because I know that I have shared a fair amount of my journey with my knee, and I do want to show you what kind of exercises I've personally added in to my exercise routine to try and get some strength back in my legs. So the focus for this session is building those hamstrings, to be honest, hamstrings, quads and glutes back up without irritating my knee. So via like small controlled movements, a lot of machines. I've just realized that I've forgotten my long resistance band. So I have been doing exercises with my long resistance band, but we're gonna have to just ignore those ones today. I was meant to have injections into my knee yesterday to try and get rid of some of the inflammation. They were cancelled because it ended up being a bank holiday, which is just, it's honestly just my luck when it comes to my knee. But anyway, I am going to stop talking. I'm going to get into the gym and see what I can film. Right, so I need to wash my hair like seriously badly, but I also want to do a hair mask because the ends of my hair recently have not been looking great, to be honest. They've been looking very like, I mean, I've had my hair cut recently, but just very like frayed, but they're not actually split, like even looking at them. Very dry and like just not really sitting nicely. Have actually used this one a couple of times already, but it's the Philip Kingsley Elasticizer Therapies hair mask. And I've probably got, this is like probably the last use, but you need to put it in wet hair, and it says to leave for 10 to 20 minutes. And I think I'm gonna do like 25 at least. Apparently hair masks, if you leave them on longer than they suggest, like I used to sleep in a hair mask, apparently it just doesn't do anything. Like after the time it stays, it just doesn't really do anything. So I'm not gonna leave it overnight like I used to. I'm just gonna do about 20-25 minutes or something. Very egg-like today. One of the things that I'm working on this week is a new program for my app. Very excited about it. It's gonna be called Build and Burn, and pretty much it's a program that you can do either from home or at the gym. The idea behind it though is that it's minimal equipment, so it's pretty much just dumbbells and resistance bands. Well, it is just dumbbells, resistance bands. I don't know how many of you guys had my old Accomplished programs. The first one that I ever released was called Cut, and it was by far the best-selling program that I did out of the three. And I think the reason for that is that it gave people flexibility, so you could do the workouts from home if you've got a set of dumbbells. I know a lot of people do, especially after lockdown, and you could also do them in the gym. So if you get home after a long day of work and you're like, I'm realistically not making it to the gym today, you can also complete the workout at home. So I feel like as much as I like working out in the gym a lot more, I know not everybody is able to be as flexible as I can be with working from home. So I totally get that. And I really wanted to create another program that was on a very similar vibe to that. So I came up with this one, and the reason it's called Build and Burn is because a lot of the exercises are very much resistance training, dumbbell focus, like you're going to be feeling that muscle burn to help you get a bit stronger and build muscle, but it's also paired with those real like burn exercises. And the majority of the workouts are based on a format of supersets, so 2 exercises that you do back to back. There are also a few circuits in there and things like that. I feel like based on previous programs and things that I see you asking about in like my DMs and things, I feel like Build and Burn could really be the answer to a really good program for a lot of you. Got 2 really cool launches on there because my meal prep guide is going to go live this week. In fact, by the time this is up, it very potentially will be live. If not, it will be like the day after or something. And Build and Burn hopefully the week after. If you aren't signed up to my app yet, I will leave the link down below. The first month is only either $1 or 88p. And it means you can try it out, see if it's for you, try some of the recipes. So this is kind of what it looks like in the back end when I am building it. And that's probably quite a good example actually. So that's a dumbbell squat supersetted with body weight squat jump. So like a real burn superset. We've got dumbbell alternating reverse lunges with body weight walking lunges. Lots of high intensity exercises, but still keeping that focus on weights training. This wallpaper sample just arrived in the post, and it's a William Morris wallpaper sample, and it's the Pure Poppy in Acro and Stone. And I really love the idea of wallpapering my study wardrobe room. I'm not always a massive fan of florals. I'm not like particularly girly in general, but I love this kind of more like traditional and like, I don't know the right word for it, maybe like regal at the same time. But I'm looking for something so subtle because I want that room to still feel really light and bright. Doing wallpaper in this room will also cover up the issue that we've got of these really ugly, can't for the life of me remember what they're called, things in the wall, which are a real pain because even if we manage to fill these, for it to actually look good, we'd probably end up having to repaint the wall, which is really annoying. And there are obviously pencil marks on there, which to be honest, I can probably get rid of the majority of the pencil marks, but wallpapering would actually completely solve this issue. I actually think that on all walls would look seriously nice. Anything else maybe worried about is the wallpaper would have to go all the way up to the ceiling. It's quite a high ceiling in this room and I don't know whether that would look strange or not. Hey guys, so it is the next day. Just put on a really nice comfy outfit. I actually made it to the gym again this morning, so I'm feeling just very, very impressed with myself. Last night I finished off this necklace and I'll show it to you first and then I'll tell you the little story behind it. This is the necklace. I might just switch the camera around the other way actually. It is a rose quartz necklace with a little gold plated A on it and I absolutely love it. I just think it looks so cute with like a simple top. There is a bit of a story to this. I have pretty much seen a necklace really, really similar to this and I'd like managed to figure out where it was from, and it was from a brand that Liberty was selling and I could see something similar on the website, and the necklace was like something ridiculous, like a couple of £100 or like £180 or something, and I was like, oh my god, that is so expensive. So I managed to source lots of different beads and it was a little bit of trial and error. I've actually remade this twice because the first 2 times just weren't quite right. But yeah, I managed to get the crystal beads, some little teeny pale pink ones, which are kind of in between the crystal ones, which just space the beads out really nicely. And then yeah, a little gold plated A, which obviously goes quite well with all of my other jewellery. I actually can't wait to get my rings back. You know, I sent them off to be mended the other week, but I just feel weird not wearing like my usual rings, like 3 of them that I wear every single day are just not here. I actually want to make them in loads of different colours. I bought some white not moonstone, something like opal or something beads, which are quite similar to this but in like a white colour. And I've also seen more of like a turquoise colour one, and I just think they look so gorgeous, and I've bought all the stuff to make bracelets now, so I'm feeling very inspired. But rose quartz, I just looked it up because I don't know loads about crystals. It's something I think I mentioned before that I want to know more about. But rose quartz purifies and it opens the heart to all levels to promote love, self-love, friendship, deep inner healing and feelings of peace, calming and reassuring. Also helps to comfort in times of grief, dispels negativity, just, you know, lovely vibes. Like whether crystals do anything or not, I just love the idea of wearing something that has like a bit of meaning behind it. I sent a picture of my necklace to my friend Kate, and she was like, I feel like this could be your jewellery brand. I don't know if I've mentioned it to you guys before, but one of my like absolute life goals is to have my own jewellery brand. I just love jewellery so much. I always have done. And I always speak to her about it. And she was like, maybe this is your jewellery brand. You can just make these necklaces, which I have to say I do love the idea of doing, but I don't know whether I was quite envisaging like making all the jewellery that I have to sell, because I don't think that's like the most efficient way of doing it. But yeah, just thought this was super cute. But yeah, very happy with my new necklace. I just placed this green jar into this cabinet and I actually really like it there, especially when the doors are closed. I just wanted something to add a little bit of extra colour to this kind of area, and I think that looks great. The only thing that annoys me slightly is I feel like the details in this jar are more like green. I know there aren't many, but we've got some kind of like greeny brown glass mugs and then that green one. And then this one, I do feel like just looks a lot better, but there are more like orangey woody details. So I think I need to do a swap with a few of those bits to go into that one. But yeah, I am gonna make a coffee to take with me. Ooh, do I want a coffee or a matcha? I'm gonna take a matcha with me, not a coffee. But yeah, I feel like taking a drink with you if you're going out the house, I've not even explained where I'm going, I'll tell you that in a second, is just the way forward, because it means I'm not tempted to stop and get myself a little takeout one. Yeah, we're gonna go for matcha because if it's the afternoon, and I think it's like 1-ish, I feel like matcha is just a little bit of a better option because I think it's got less caffeine in, or it's more slow release caffeine. Ooh, now I'm a bit worried. I think it's got less caffeine in than the coffee that I would usually make. I'm gonna check that. I managed to get my hands on this randomly from my local post office. I just thought this was such a random thing for them to sell. And it's the Minor Figures Barista Oat in Light. I've heard really good things about this oat milk. I think the branding is so cool. And for ages, I've been meaning to try it. Yeah, I'm gonna try it for the first time in this matcha, and we're gonna have a hot matcha also for literally the first time in the longest time. But it's definitely getting towards hot matcha weather. I had a cold coffee on the way to the gym this morning, and it actually felt quite strange drinking iced coffee when it was quite cold outside. Like I was kind of shivering a bit, drinking a cold drink. The real signs of autumn. So annoying, but I just completely forgot to put this little bit that needs to go in the milk frother so it's not frothed at all. So I got it out and I was like, oh, maybe it doesn't froth. And then I was thinking that's like really not frothy, and that's because it wasn't being frothed. Well, that tastes really good. Tastes really good actually. Really like that. I can't fault it. Wish it was a little frothier and thicker, but not the end of the world. After a pretty successful trip. I've honestly bought a very, very random selection of things. I actually just got home to a delivery of meal prep stuff, which is very kindly been sent to us by this brand called Simmer. It's actually a brand that we've used before in London, but they were called something different at the time and they just had a complete rebrand. Their meals are different and everything like that. And I'm just gonna share it with you because it literally looks divine. And I think I don't know exactly where they deliver to, but I know it must be further outside of London because we don't live in London anymore. So if you're into meal prep, definitely go and check them out. But this is the prawn pad thai. And if you can see that, you can see, first of all, I'm impressed because they're in cardboard containers. A lot of meal prep brands use plastic, so that's amazing. But it's even got a little pot in this pad thai for crispy onions. Like, this is made for me, literally. It looks insane, like a noodle pad thai. And then one of the other ones I just pulled out, I'm just buzzing to have one of these, honestly, is the jerk chicken, rice, peas, and plantain, which is literally Elliot's favorite meal. So yeah, could you have got two better meals to be sat on top of a box? How meal prep usually works is that they're either done to your macros or they just have the macros on them anyway. So this one, for example, is 477 calories, 45 grams of protein, 49 grams of carbs and 10 grams of fat. So you know exactly what you're eating. But yeah, full of amazing food. And because we tried this brand before, I know that all their food literally tastes amazing as well. I feel like my hair is looking very strange today. I completely forgot I didn't film after I washed my hair mask out yesterday. And what I really wanted to do is wash it out and then style my hair really nicely. And I just could not be bothered. I just find doing my hair like the longest task ever, and I just let it dry naturally, so you can't really tell, but it is feeling good. Like the ends are feeling silky and not like straw. So the hair mask definitely worked, although you probably can't tell. So I went to Hobbycraft. I haven't been to Hobbycraft for the longest time. I used to go to Hobbycraft loads with my stepmom. When I was growing up, she was really into like arts and crafts and things. And I was the only one out of my the four siblings, like me, my sister, my stepsister, my stepbrother, that was also really into those things. We used to do loads of that kind of stuff together. And it was just so many memories going back to there, but actually some really great things. I saw on someone else's YouTube video that they'd gone to get some autumnal kind of Halloween-y vibe decorations. Even though I said that I'm not going to completely decorate the house for Halloween as much as I love the idea of doing that. We're actually away quite a lot in the next few weeks and I just feel like it kind of goes to waste otherwise. I feel like pumpkin season is like a very short season as well, but I have found basically two things today. So when I was at the gym this morning, I was on the cross trainer for a bit and I was watching a YouTube video and someone had bought these really nice Amazon pumpkins, like kind of not ceramic, but I think they're going to be quite like lightweight, but with a really cool stalk on them, and I think they're going to look really nice. And they were literally £9 for like a massive bag of them. And I've said to myself, the only other thing that I'm going to buy that's Halloween-y is the thing that I picked up from Hobbycraft. So I got these, basically a box of 4 rattan woven sort of pumpkins. They look quite sweet and rustic. I'm not really into like super bright colour Halloween-y things. They actually feel very weighty. So that's what they look like. Like how adorable is that? So I'm thinking I could pop a few of them around the house. I actually have quite a good idea as to where to put those. We've got this little like inbuilt shelf thing just behind me and maybe they would be quite cute there. They had quite a lot of Halloween decorations in there, but I'm not gonna lie, a lot of them were not really to my taste, but I just thought those were super cute. So the other things I got in there, so I'm best showing it to you first so you can picture how I'm gonna use that. But if you remember rightly, at Home Sense the other week, I picked up this mirror. Now we have, oh, you can see yourself in there. So we've decided that this is going to go in our bathroom, but the issue is with our bathroom is that it's not a solid wall, so it's like a plasterboard wall, which, oh, honestly, I feel like plasterboard walls are just the most infuriating thing in a house when you want to hang things up, because it's just not easy and it's not really reversible either. So I was looking online at ways to hang things up that aren't super, super heavy without drilling into the wall. There are a few things that came up. So I actually went to Hobbycraft to try and find the brand Gorilla do like a adhesive tape kind of thing, which is meant to be really strong. That was actually sold out, but I did find this, which is arguably probably just as good. And it's the Unibond No More Nails. And it shows on the back the kind of things that you can hang up. And it looks like there are plenty of things which are just as heavy as the mirror. To be honest, that mirror is just not that heavy because it's only a small mirror. Then the other thing that I picked up, also to do with the mirror, so as you'll notice, the detail on the mirror is gold. I really love that, but sadly our bathroom is all silver. All the hardware is silver. And I know some people mix metals, but I don't know. I just don't know if I want a gold chain in a silver bathroom. So I'm actually gonna paint it. So I bought some paint that you can paint over metal in the color chrome, and it's from Plasticoat. But I thought that would just make the whole thing, you know, come together and look nice. I'm not gonna show you because it's literally so boring, but I also bought some nails from B&Q to hang up the chain, just to like prop it up so it looks nice. But just a really thin nail, which I'm hoping I can like really lightly just hammer it into the wall and it won't cause any damage. The other thing I picked up in Hobbycraft, which is very, very random, is, like I mentioned, I used to go to Hobbycraft with my stepmom, and one of the things that we used to do when we were younger is knit. So she taught me to knit, and I would knit like little scarves and things. And it was never particularly good, and I honestly think the last time I knitted was when I was like 10. Like, it was a long time ago. I just saw this and some knitting needles, and I thought that's the kind of thing that I would actually love to be able to do in the evenings. One thing about me which is quite frustrating is I don't have the best attention span, like at all. I've always struggled with it my whole life. I struggle to focus for long periods of time, and one of the things that I feel like is really affected by that is like my ability to watch TV. Not that that's the end of the world, but Elliot loves watching films, series and things. I feel like I have to be distracted by something else, which is sometimes very frustrating. I mean, especially for Elliot. But I was thinking knitting is the kind of thing, I sound like a little granny, don't I? It's the kind of thing that I could do whilst we're watching something. So it kind of keeps my brain going a bit more. Yeah, how cool would it be if I could knit my own jumpers and things? I love that idea, but I just bought some really simple, cheap knitting needles and just some simple white yarn just to practice, because I don't even know if I can remember how to do it. It's been that long. I just turned the lights on to show you, but yeah, that's where the mirror would go in that bathroom. So right up there, but I think it's going to be the perfect size for that space because it is, yeah, it is basically a really small space. I don't know if I explained this before, but we've got a real issue with this bathroom sink. It's a really great sink because it's quite narrow, and I know a lot of sinks would kind of come out of the wall further, and we need it to be there so you can close the door okay. But this tap is an absolute nightmare. So it looks really great, but it comes out like this, even though I've cleaned it loads, and it just drips down the back of here. If you don't wipe it straight away, I mean, you can see where it's already damaging the wall because of water. It drips down here, and I don't know if it'll pick up on camera, but it's got drip marks the whole way down, and it's actually starting to ruin the paint down here. So I think ultimately in the long run, what we need to do is switch out this tap for one that actually kind of lands in the basin. I do think that this sink generally is a little bit problematic just because it doesn't leave much room for water to splash, and then do like a little tile splashback or something. But to be honest, it is pretty low on our priority list. I don't know when that will get done. And at some point I would just love to wallpaper this bathroom. Choose a really cool little design and yeah, make it a little bit funky. I've just made literally the tastiest looking snack ever. It's something that's been kind of going around, like, I don't use TikTok personally. I know it's like a TikTok Reels kind of thing. I have just seen it on Reels, but I'm pretty sure it came from TikTok initially. And it's using hash browns, like freezer hash browns, as avocado, as like the base to avocado toast. I haven't actually tried it yet, but look how incredible these look. Oh my gosh, am I excited for these. They honestly look like mini little canapes. Yeah, it's a hash brown at the bottom, and then some avocado, which I've just added some lime juice and salt and pepper too, and then crispy bacon bits on top. I would actually usually use vegan bacon for this, but I filmed the recipe for Instagram and we only had normal bacon, so I've gone with normal bacon today. But if you are plant-based bacon would be incredible, especially because plant-based bacon I find really good like chopped up and crispy, and chili oil. I just need to give them a try just to make sure that they taste as good as they look. I think these potentially taste even better than they look, which is just criminal because they look literally incredible. This would be the perfect hangover breakfast. You know when you want something a bit more like fried, but also with like the avocado, and I love a bit of like lime and chili. I'm gonna change the phone case on my phone to this really cute, just clear one with kind of goldy, yeah, gold stars on from Casetify, which I've actually had sat in my cupboard for ages, but I was enjoying this for a long time. It's actually getting a little bit worn. There are a few bits where the back of it's scraping off just because well, first of all, I literally throw my phone around all the time. By the way, these Casetify ones with the bumpy corners are the best because honestly, I must drop my phone like twice a day at least. And I find that your phone like almost bounces back up. I've literally never smashed a phone with one of those covers on. God, don't iPhones just look so much nicer? You forget that iPhones actually aren't that bulky until you've got a cover on them. I just went all out and put a new screen protector on my phone because I had a box of them and I just find it one of those like real faffy things to do. I haven't put a new one on for the longest time, so it's looking all fresh and shiny. And look how cute that looks. I feel like the gold stars are cute with my phone because it's the gold iPhone. Right guys, I'm gonna wrap this video up. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.